what we find is companies are going out and buying companies left, right, and center. And as a result, quite often what happens is you bought 2 or 3 or 4 companies at the same time, or within the same time frame, and you want to integrate them. The reason I say you want to integrate them rather than you have integrated them, because I still come across very seldom good stories where companies have bought several other companies and have been able to effectively integrate them. They may have acquired these companies, but that's where the struggle is. The reason why we started looking at the buy and build is we found lots of companies are being bought, acquired within a very short space of time without necessarily enough thought being given on how to integrate. So that's where the buy and build thinking comes in from our perspective.
Got it. So when I think about this with some of the folks that I know, I think about like a private equity that goes in and buys a bunch of plumbers and they
Yes.
sort of operate independently. And then at some point you've got 10 different payrolls, 10 different benefit systems, 10 different management systems. So is that the type of thing that you're thinking about when you talk buy and build?
That's a great point. And in fact, that defies the very logic of why you bought the companies at the first place. Now, I can absolutely understand if you're the private equity version one, where you went in the assets. Private equity version one was all about buying assets. The private equity version two was getting some operational efficiencies in, which was more to do with financial engineering, etc. You did cost synergies, lots of them trying to get them together. But when we start looking at version two of, I'm calling it version two of private equity, it could be version three. But the reality is that by having 10 different versions of payroll, 10 different versions of culture, 10 different versions of sales and marketing, 10 different versions of finance is a recipe for disaster. At the amount of overhead that you create on building this. And that's where the whole logic of buying a company and not integrating it just defies me. Now, I know why certain companies do that, or certain private equity backed companies do that, because they're looking at valuation. They're looking at some rudimentary operational efficiency. They're trying to consolidate so that they can create a size where they can get increased X's multiples.